In this lesson, we will look at tallies, tables, and graphs and how to complete that piece in our project. So this is an example of the Likert question. On a scale from 1 to 5, with 1 being agree and 5 being disagree, students spend too much time in the hallways. And then we have tally marks that were answered from conducting the surveys to other students. The first step is to count your tally marks and record them in the box. The first box has 20 tally marks, 10, 9, 6, and 5. Now your numbers will be different because you have different questions with different students answering your questions. Once you have your tally marks counted, then you're going to transfer this information into your table. So on the next page, you have your table with your 3 types of graph. We're going to complete the Likert table by putting in the 1 for what number they said, and then how many students said that, 20. 2, I had 10, 3, I had 9, 4, I had 6, and 5, I had 5. The next step of this is to create a percent from that information. I'm going to add my numbers together to get the total amount of students that answer the question. When I add those numbers together, I get 50. 50 students answered my survey. Again, yours is going to be different. Then I'm going to divide the first number by I take my number of students that answered the question 20, divided by the total number of students, in my case 50, and then times 100 to get the percent. And simply record the percent beside the information on your chart. I'm going to repeat the same process with all of the rest of my data points. So 10 divided by 50 times 100. 9 divided by 50 times 100, and 6 divided by 50 times 100. Once I have that information, then I can put the percents onto the circle graph. The first step of the circle graph is to draw a line from the center of the circle straight up. Now remember, if you split this circle completely in half, each piece would be about 50%. If you split the circle into 4 equal pieces, each piece is about 25%. So you can either use a fraction circle template that we have in class to find the percents, or you can estimate it. So 40% is just a little bit under 50. And so I'm going to go to the left and mark off 40%, and then make sure I label that piece. 20% is just slightly under 25%. 18% is just a little bit less than the 20. And my 12 and my 20 almost split the last piece in half. This is my percent circle. You're going to do the same thing with your percentages. The next 2 graphs are a line graph and a bar graph. Because my numbers are 1 through 5, I'm going to label the bottom of my graph 1 through 5. And because I have 50 responses, I'm going to number the graph of the side from 0 to 50, counting by tens. Next, I place a dot for every data point. At 1, it's 20 people, so the dot goes where 1 and 20 meet. 2 is 10, so where the dot is for where 2 and 10 meet. 3 is 9, 4 is 6, and 5 is 5. My next graph is a bar graph. Again, my numbers are going to go from 1 to 5, but this time instead of on the lines, they're going to go in between the lines. My vertical axis is going to stay the same up to 50, counting by tens. And then I'm going to shade in the bars. From 1, it gets shaded into 20, 2 is 10, 3 is 9, 4 is 6, and 5 is 5. The only other thing I'm missing on all 3 graphs is I should have a title. So you can simply say Likert question or say what the title is of your actual question is. And then I need to label the axis. So on the bottom, like for my Likert question, I say 1 is agree, 5 is disagree, and then from 0 to 50 is the number of people. Again, on the bar graph, it should be 1 is disagree, 5 is agree, and then, or the other way around, 1 is agree, 5 is disagree, and then the 0 to 50 should be number of people. You are going to repeat this process with the categorical question and the numerical question for your data points.